This is an impromptu stream. This is one that's unannounced, unplanned, unscheduled. I don't think I've ever done a YouNow on a Wednesday before. But you know what? I like to mix things up a little bit. I'm experimenting with unannounced, unscheduled, untweeted streams. Just really I'm trying to get an idea. Let me explain what I'm doing. I'm trying to get an idea of how many people are watching these because they're following on YouNow or they're subscribed on YouTube, and how many people are coming over from social media. So my thoughts are, by not announcing it in advance anywhere, it's just going to be the people who are subscribed and are following, and it gives me a good idea of what the difference between that number of people and the normal number of people is. It makes sense to me. Let's just check that we have gone live on YouTube as well. It looks like we have. Excellent stuff. So we are going to be doing the normal thing as normal. Probably the normal thing as normal. This is why I don't stream on Wednesdays, Kev, because Wednesdays I can't talk properly. My word. We are going to be doing a normal Q&A live stream thing. I don't have coffee though. No coffee. I have a can of Coke Zero with me because I plan to be out here for the evening. I'm not just out here for this. I'm probably going to do half hour or so on YouNow now, and then I'm going to be heading over to Twitch at 9 o'clock and bringing back some Football Manager, I think. So welcome along if you're new. Hello if you're new. If you are new and watching on YouTube, please be aware that I don't see any of the chat that's on YouTube. So if you've never been in one of my streams before, and you want to be able to interact in the Q&A, the only way you can do that is to come over to YouNow. YouNow is just a separate website that hosts the stream, and then it gets broadcast over to YouTube as well. But the YouNow link is posted in the chat on YouTube. It's in the description on YouTube. Or you can just go to younow.com/Lelujo. Any of those are going to bring you over to the YouNow stream. And from there, I'll be able to answer your questions and see what's going on in the chat. So if you are on YouTube and you want to get involved in the chat, you've got to come over to YouNow. Cool? Cool. For the rest of you, firstly, why does my hair look like it's drifting into a centre parting? That's very 90s of me. Goodness me, I need a haircut badly. I cannot be going to EGX next week with a centre parting. They won't let me in. I'm already bordering on too old to be let into an event like that. If I turn it with a centre parting, I might as well have an undercut. Oy, oy, oy. Or should I just grow it long and have a man bun? I could do a man bun. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, we're just going to be doing a Q&A over here for the next half hour or so. So any questions that you've got on any topic that you might want to ask them on, and we'll just have a little bit of a chat. It's likely to be a little bit quieter tonight because it's a night I don't normally stream on, and I've not announced it anywhere. Like I said right at the start, for those of you who weren't here right when I first went live, I'm doing a little bit of an experiment to get an idea of how different the viewer numbers are if I don't tell anyone I'm doing it, if I just turn it on and see what happens. At the moment, it looks like about a third of the people on each platform. So we've got about 100 people in total across the two platforms. Normally, we've got around 250, 300 across the two platforms. So those of you interested in following the stats, that's the difference that announcing it in advance makes. Right, let's have a look to see these questions. Do me and the girl's mum talk? Yeah, we do. Why am I not drinking coffee? I've just had a cup of coffee. I didn't actually plan to do this. Spoilers for tomorrow's vlog. Everyone in the house is coming down with something. I just wanted to get out here. I could have got ahead on my videos for next week when I'm away for some of the week, but I thought, actually, you know what? I just want to go live and have a little bit of a chat. I came up with this idea for an experiment and decided to go live 10 minutes ago. So it's not at all planned, not at all announced. I just thought, yeah, let's go live and have a little bit of a chat. I haven't seen the Apple event at all. I only watch it every other year because I'm miserable. I sulk about it. I'm still under contract with my current phone. My iPhone contract is stupid because I go May to May. Because of, I guess, when I first got an iPhone years ago. So I didn't get last year's iPhone, so I don't have the 8, I don't have the 10. But I'm also not going to be, I will probably be getting this year's one, but I won't be getting it until May. So I don't really want to know how far behind I am now. I'm 2 generations behind. I'll get caught up at some point with YouTube videos, I guess. Someone will summarise it for me in about 5 minutes. But I'm sure they're lovely. I have no intention of ever moving away from Apple, moving away from iPhone. And I'm sure it's an improvement on certainly what I've got, because my one's now 2 generations old. But I haven't actually seen the event from earlier at all. Does Andy like the male and female T-shirts? He does. He likes them. You need Adobe Flash for YouNow. I won't watch it until they fix that. Okay. You can watch on YouTube. You just can't interact on YouTube. How long have me and Anna been together? About 6 years. I have the 8 and it's really similar to 7. Yeah, I've got the 7S Plus, and Anna's got the 8, and to me they're the same phone. Mine's just bigger than hers, so I don't think there's a huge difference between the two. Kev, what Football Manager game would you suggest to start with? My dad has them all and I want to get into them. The most recent one, so FM18, the one that's out currently. There's no reason to go back and start from the beginning. It's not like a story-driven thing. It's just every year they update it a little bit more. If you've never played one at all, you might even want to try FM Touch, the latest version of FM Touch, which is a simplified version of the game. Basically, better camera, and yeah, better camera's always good. Lucy is doing a level 3 health and social care course. She's not doing A levels. What Red Hot Chili Peppers song was Andy listening to? He had a couple on, and I can't remember what they were, but I recognised it. I'm not a massive Red Hot Chili Peppers fan, but I recognised what he was listening to as Red Hot Chili Peppers. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, who maybe don't follow me on Twitter, you should follow me on Twitter. But about an hour ago, Andy just randomly started playing Red Hot Chili Peppers out of his iPad, and it was playing for like 10 minutes, quite loud. And he's never shown any interest in music before, so I thought that was interesting. But then he started feeling poorly as well and went to bed. So they're all ill in the house of Lurgy, which is why I'm hiding out here in the garage for the evening. Does Andy ever see his biological dad? No. Is the YouNow stream a daily thing? It's not a daily thing. We used to do it on a schedule, believe it or not. I used to stream on a schedule way back before the summer holidays. I used to stream Sundays, Mondays and Thursdays, but I haven't been on any kind of schedule for a long time. And I kind of aim to do YouNow 3 or 4 times a week. I'm actually thinking I might try and do it a little bit more often. I don't want to go daily doing it, because daily seems like a huge commitment to make. But potentially upping 3 times a week to 4 or 5, but have it a strict half hour, because I'm talking so much on these and I'm getting so many questions that I'm still on 3 nights a week, but it's gradually crept up from they're about half an hour long to some nights are nearly an hour long, and I think it would be easier to fit into the schedule long term if I did it more often for a shorter period of time. So like a solid 30 minutes, no more, and then leave you wanting more, so we can go for tomorrow night or the next night, whenever it will be. How's school been for Andy so far this week? It's been fine. Yeah, absolutely fine. How much would I have to pay for my beard? I can sell it to you. If you give me 10 grand, you can have it. It's going to stay attached to my face, but I'll happily sign it over legally to you. But I am going to keep it on my face because I need to cover what's under it. Am I right or left-handed? I'm right-handed. Would I shave my beard for charity? It would have to be the right charity and a huge amount of money being raised. I'm not going to do it to raise 300 quid. I raised 5 grand playing Football Manager for the National Autistic Society within the last year. So if I can raise 5 grand doing something I really enjoy, for me to justify shaving off my beard, which is something I really don't want to do, I'd have to be raising 20 times that. So, if I can raise £100,000 for charity, then I'll shave it off. And I don't think that's realistic. What's under the beard? My face and about 6 chins. What charity would I choose and how much for shaving the beard? There you go, I've just answered that. It doesn't necessarily have to be the National Autistic Society. Cancer Research is another charity that's near and dear to me. Or the British Heart Foundation is one that I imagine I'm going to be relying on in the future with my blood pressure. So, yeah, any of those really. But 100 grand is what we'd have to raise for me to shave off the beard. So it's not likely to happen. Would I take Andy to see his biological father if he asked? No. Because as far as I'm concerned, you didn't turn up for 14 years. You lose any rights to call yourself anything at all. So yeah, he is not in the scene. He will never be on the scene ever. Full stop. How was my survival with Amy yesterday? We survived. That's the important thing. Jamie, I haven't auctioned the Northampton shirt yet. Every now and again I notice it just still sat there. It's sat on Anna's desk in the house, and every now and again I notice it and think I really need to get on that. But it keeps falling down the priority list. Is Amy's mum called Anna, and that's why she says Annika? No. She says Annika because that's Anna's name. So when they first met her, she was introduced as Annika, but she prefers to be called Anna. But by the time she'd decided she wanted us to call her Anna, because I didn't call her Anna initially because I called her by her name, and then after a few weeks of knowing her, she said, actually, I prefer to be called Anna, so I started calling her Anna instead. And the girls never really got comfortable calling her something different after they got used to calling her Annika, so they just use Annika, I guess. There will be Twitch tonight, Twitch about 9 o'clock. If Andy wanted to see his dad, would he be allowed? That's a decision Andy can make when he's an adult. He's not in a position to make that decision now. He doesn't understand what any of that means. He doesn't know he has a other dad, and he wouldn't be able to put into words wanting to go and see him anyway. So it's not anything we need to worry about anytime soon. If when he's an adult he wants to do it and he's able to put that into words and explain that he wants to do it, maybe I would make sure I was there because of reasons. Mainly for protecting Andy, and he can look at him. Actually, you know what? No, he can't. He's lost all rights to be anywhere near him. No, he can't. Let's start a GoFundMe page to make Kev shave his beard. I mean, if you can raise £100,000 on a GoFundMe page for me to shave my beard, I'll say 100 grand for charity. I'll do it for 50 grand in my back pocket. If you can only raise 50 and give it straight to me, I'll do it for 50 grand of money I'm allowed to keep. Does your previous partner know you do YouTube? Yes, it would be pretty close to impossible for her not to know at this point because the girls get recognised wherever they go. Amy in particular gets recognised wherever she goes, whether she's with me or not. So Lucy not so much because Lucy's not on the vlogs so much, but Amy certainly gets recognised all over the place. So there would be no way her mum wouldn't figure it out, but she knows anyway. We had a conversation about it before we started vlogging. It's all sorted, it's all comfortable, everyone's happy with the situation. She just doesn't want to share her life on there and wants me to keep that side of everything completely private, which is why I would never film near their house. I would never film on the way to their house. I would never give any clues as to where they live, just to keep that completely private. What does Andy play on PS4? At the moment he's playing what is he playing? Total Mental Block, the Lego game. What's it called? Lego City Undercover is what he's been playing at the moment. I've never met Andy's dad now, and that's probably best for him that I've never met him. I don't know if he's autistic. He's not diagnosed, but who knows? Why do people obsess over Andy's so-called real dad? Yeah, I don't get why people are so interested in that. I mean, yeah, as Mr. Willie says, biology doesn't mean anything. Loads of step families anywhere. Family is... I'm a firm believer that family is the people you choose to live your life with. It's nothing to do with who's lumped on you by birth or by blood or any of this nonsense. Your family are the people that you choose to live your life with. So those of us in this house on a regular basis, we're the family. Everyone else is an outsider as far as I'm concerned. And I don't understand why people are so interested in this guy who literally he's nothing more than a sperm donor. It's weird. Do I have any advice for autistic family members? Give me more information. If he hasn't been there for 14 years, in my eyes, that makes him a complete scumbag and he has no rights to Andy anymore. Yeah, I'm on board with that view, Ben. Absolutely. My opinion on Spider-Man so far, really enjoy it. So far, I can't speak tonight. I'm really enjoying Spider-Man. I'm about 4.5, 5 hours in. I've streamed the first 4.5, 5 hours-ish. But I think I'm done streaming that now. Because I kind of just want to play it during the day sometimes. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's lots of fun. Where does the name Annika originate from? I don't know. It sounds Scandinavian, doesn't it? But I mean, her parents were English. I think it was just because Annika Rice was on the telly when she was born, and her mum probably thought, "Oh, that's quite a nice name. I'll do that." but Anna doesn't like the name, which is why she prefers to go by Anna, so she always introduces herself to... I don't know why she introduced herself to me and the girls initially as Annika, because everyone that I've seen her meet since, at uni, she's Anna. At work, she's Anna. On the internet, she's Anna. She is Anna everywhere. I don't know why she just doesn't call herself Anna, and that be her name. I mean, you don't even have to change it, just always introduce yourself as Anna. It's like someone who's called, I don't know, if you're called Robert, but you always introduce yourself as Bob. You wouldn't necessarily start calling yourself, I don't know, would you refer to yourself as Robert sometimes? I don't really know how. I always think those nicknames are cool. The ones where you have a name and then the nickname is not a shorter version of that name, it's a completely different name. Like when, if it's William and they're called Bill, I think that's just really cool. Because I'm a loser, I guess. Right, we're about halfway through my allotted stream time for this evening, so I'm just going to take a moment to remind everyone over on YouTube again that if you do want to get involved in the Q&A, you need to come over to YouNow. I can't see any of the chat that's over on YouTube, so if you want to be able to ask me any questions or you want me to see what you're typing, you can only do that if you come over to YouNow. The link is in the chat on YouTube, the link is in the description on YouTube. It's younow.com/Lelujo. Come on over to YouNow and then you can get involved in the Q&A and it will be marvellous. My name's Benjamin. I introduced myself as Ben. Yeah, exactly. But then I suppose I'm the hypocrite here because in some circles I'm Kev, some I'm Kevin. I mean, it's not massively different. Kev is clearly an abbreviation for Kevin, whereas I guess some people are called Ben. Not every Ben is a Benjamin, just like not every John is a Jonathan. But every Kev is a Kevin, surely. Or I've often thought, if Elizabeths can be called Beth, which you get sometimes, so if they can take the last bit of their name, can I be Vin? Like Vin Diesel. But I guess that's short for Vincent, probably with him. But, you know, I can take the last bit of my name. I'll be Vin Chapman. If I ever got into bodybuilding and got like, I'd start calling myself Vin, I think, because it makes me seem harder. Who is Andy's next of kin after Anna? Me. According to Anna's will. So if something was to happen to Anna, then Andy stays with me. I guess next of kin legally is his biological dad, I suppose. But there's not a chance that any court in the land would award his dad custody. My nickname's Shaz and I'm Shannon. Do you introduce yourself as Shaz or Shannon then? Or does it depend on who you're talking to? Vin could be my wrestling name. Yeah. Why does Kev need to adopt Andy? Basically what he has. Yeah, we've had this exact conversation with Andy's social worker where we've said, because we asked like 2 years ago, what are the benefits to adopting him? Is there any reason why we should? Is there any reason why I shouldn't? I say we. Anna obviously doesn't need to adopt him, but is there any reason why I should or shouldn't adopt him? And the response was basically, as long as Anna has a will, legally it makes no difference at all whether or not I adopt him or not, because if her will says that if something happens to her he stays with me, she has sole parental responsibility for him. So there's not really any reason to adopt him. If I did adopt him, and this was kind of our thought process, just being vindictive and spiteful, he's a scumbag. At the moment, he gets £5 a week taken out of his benefits and sent to Anna, which we put in a savings account for Andy. And we quite like the idea that he has to buy half a pack of fags less than he'd be able to if he wasn't paying that £5 a week. So it accumulates for Andy, and sometimes we spend it on something that he really wants. Or the rest of the time it just kind of accumulates towards his future. And we thought, you know what, if there's no real benefits to adopting him, Andy gets a £5 a week out of this. Let's just keep taking the £5 for him. And it really did come down to that. There was no reason for me to adopt him. There was no reason to. It was just a piece of paper, and me and Anna aren't married. We don't need a piece of paper. We could get married. We could get married tomorrow if we really, really wanted to. But ultimately it's just a piece of paper. It doesn't make a huge amount of difference. How far into the relationship did Andy call me dad? Almost straight away, which was a bit weird. Looking back, it was a bit weird, but I guess it all worked out okay. Was I ever scared when I met Andy? No. Does he still get car sick? No, I don't know that he ever did get car sick. I think it was more sickness brought on by anxiety. So if he knows where we're going and we've prepared him that he's going there and it's somewhere he wants to go, he's never sick. If it's somewhere he doesn't want to go, or somewhere he wasn't expecting to go, or somewhere he's previously had a bad experience, even if it's quite a short journey, he'll be sick. So I don't think it ever was motion sickness. I think it was more anxiety. Jack, he doesn't have a job. He's a total scumbag. Please don't consider me rude, but for an autistic child, do you get more child benefit than you would for Amy and Lucy? No, child benefit is exactly the same. You get slightly more, and Anna deals with all this, so I don't know the exact details. I think you get slightly more tax credits because he has autism, but I mean it's a small amount extra. And if we were to claim other benefits, we'd get others. Like I think if you're on housing benefit or income support or any of that stuff, you get more, but we don't have any of that stuff. I think. Oh, and Andy, of course, gets DLA as well, disability living allowance, which is, again, it's not a huge amount, but it helps. I mean, it pretty much covers the cost of his very specialist diet that we talked about on the What Does Andy Eat video the other day. Just how much we have to spend on Andy's food because it's so specific. Luckily, he gets the DLA, and the DLA basically covers the cost of his food. Which is handy because if we didn't have that, I don't know how we could afford to pay for his very, very specific diet. Am I going to try the FIFA 19 demo? I don't know. I've not really enjoyed FIFA for a few years now. I might have a little go on the demo, but I don't know. I mean, I've got EA access, so I'll probably do the 10-hour trial, but I really don't see myself buying it this year. I have a child with 4P minus syndrome. I don't know what that is, but elaborate. Tell me more about that. Am I just being thick? Can I have a happy birthday for the 27th of September? You can, although that's still 2 weeks away, so there's plenty of opportunities to do that. But happy birthday for the 27th of September. Food video is very funny. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I did play GTA 5 when it first came out. I didn't enjoy the online. I'm not really an online gaming kind of chap, but I loved the story. It was a very cool game. How's the school transport going? I mean, it's getting him to and from school. That's the important thing. He's just taking everything in his stride at the moment, which is awesome and very unexpected. And long may it continue. What am I streaming tonight? That really depends on how many likes the tweet that I put out like an hour ago got. I have a likes target in my mind for bringing back Leluja FC on Football Manager tonight. If we get that many likes, I'm going to be doing that on Twitch from 9 o'clock. If we don't, then I might just stream some more Spider-Man. But I think we were very close to the like target, so I'm probably going to be doing Football Manager. I am going to get Red Dead Redemption 2, definitely. I prefer to play games on console. I almost said PC, on console, because I like to sit in my comfy chair in the house. The chat's moving really fast again. When you ask Andy if he's had a good day, how do you know if he's saying yes because the answer is yes? Or the answer is always, that is literally just routine. I ask him how his day was, or I ask him if he had a good day. He says yes. It doesn't mean anything. He's not exchanging information with me there. He knows if he says yes, I'll stop asking. It literally is routine these days, because sometimes I don't ask him. He'll say it to me to prompt me to ask him. So it's literally just routine at this point. Am I going to continue Weight Loss Wednesdays? I really should. I am a fat man who's not getting any thinner. I need to, but I need a flash of inspiration and motivation for health and weight loss. And I just don't have it at the moment. I think I'm spreading myself so thin, putting so much, ironically, making me fatter, but I'm spreading myself so thin in other areas, running 2 YouTube channels, streaming regularly, streaming on YouNow as well. I'm trying to write a book while all this is going on. We've got Anna going back to uni soon, and this and that, and we're getting into Expo season, and I know these are all excuses, but the excuses build up to the point where, in order to be able to do anything properly, so weight loss, giving up smoking, starting a YouTube channel, anything that is hard, you have to be so motivated towards doing it, and it has to almost be bordering on obsession. At least this is how my mind works. Got to be like properly obsessed and massively focused on it. And at the moment, I think my problem is I just don't want it enough. I just don't care enough at the moment, which is terrible, really, because I'm massively overweight. I have high blood pressure. If I carry on as I am, I won't make it to 60, or I might make it to 60. I'm not likely to see much of it in the way of a retirement. But for whatever reason, it's difficult to think that long term. That long term seems very abstract at the moment. I realise there's lots of questions coming in and I'm waffling, but I need to get this off my chest now it's been brought up. But I feel like if I stop working as hard as I am on work, then that could cause short-term problems. And if I have short-term problems, as in not being able to pay my bills, or not being able to, or the channel just collapsing and my career disappearing and all that kind of stuff, then that seems like a higher priority to me at the moment. What I need to do is get to the point where we're financially comfortable again. Because when I've lost weight in the past, I was able to fully focus on it. So we need to get to the point where we've got 500 quid spare at the end of every month again. We don't have to worry about money. I don't have to sit there watching the YouTube analytics every day, stressing out when views drop a little bit and ecstatic when my mood is so based on how many views we've got that day at the moment. And it's a horrible way to live. I need to get out of that mentality, but it's hard when you're living paycheck to paycheck like we are at the moment. So I think, as much as I would like to get healthy, it's hard because I know I'm setting myself up to fail because I'm not motivated to do it at the moment. But I will get into it. Right, let's get back to some questions. We're going to be streaming for probably another 5 minutes or so. So if you're still watching on YouTube and you want to get a question answered and you keep seeing that YouNow link come up in the chat, that's because I'm not looking at the YouTube chat. So if you want to get your question answered, you've got to come over here to YouNow. You've got 5 minutes to get over here. The link's in the chat. The link's in the description. It's younow.com/Lelujo. You've got 5 minutes to get a question in. If the girl's got a part-time job at this age, would you take a small chunk for rent, bills, food, etc.? No. I'd feel really scummy doing that. Even though, I guess when I was in sixth form, I was paying £100 a month board to my parents, but I'd feel bad taking it from them because a year ago I wouldn't have had to. So it feels like, rather than it being a rite of passage for them learning to pay board, it would actually be, yeah, I've got us into a bit of a financial pickle here. Can you help me? And I don't want to do that. Do you get funding for Andy's taxi? It's all paid for through the council. Yeah, it's just school transport. Everyone who's more than 3 miles away, I think it is. If you live more than 3 miles away from the school you're allocated to, you're entitled to free school transport. It's the same as just getting a bus pass for other kids. So yeah, it's all covered. How much do I read? I read every day. Yeah, more often than not, it's comic books or non-fiction. I don't read as much fiction as I'd like to, but I spend probably an hour a day at least reading. Actually, I spend an hour a day reading before I go to bed at night. I get into bed and read for about an hour, but I also read when I'm having a number two. So we're probably pushing an hour and a half a day I spend reading. What's my thoughts on AI? AI as in artificial intelligence. I'm massively excited about. The last job interview I ever went to for my last teaching job, they said, what is my long-term ambition? And because I'm a nerd, I said I want to live forever as a machine. I really want to get to the point where AI is of a sufficient quality that you can actually transfer someone's brain patterns and consciousness into artificial intelligence. So theoretically, you could live on as code forever, because I realise this sack of skin and bones isn't going to last forever, but I'm not that bothered about that. I just hate to lose my brain, so I'd quite like to have my brain moved into the internet just as I'm about to die, so I can live on as it's a stupid science fiction ambition, but it might happen in my lifetime and it would be so cool. What did I study at college? Depending on where in the world you're asking that from, I didn't go to college. I went to university. I went to sixth form. So if you're in the UK, you're probably asking me the equivalent of sixth form. So my A levels, I did maths, physics, and business, and then at university I did computer science. Right, where did we get to? Are you the guy on YouTube with the autistic son? I guess that's a way of describing me. Yes. I probably earn £350 per week, and more than half of that goes on rent bills, etc. Then have hardly any to live on. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Have I ever eaten sweets all night? No, I don't really like sweets. I'm not really a sweets kind of chap. I'd love to have a new body but continue living, or there be a cure for chronic pain. I mean, yeah, so similar kind of idea, I guess. If you could transfer your consciousness to like an android and just live with your brain inside a robot, that would be cool, right? How many Funko Pops do I have? About 150. Ever read The Kybalion? I've not heard of that, no. Have I played any more board games recently? No, but we are, illness permitting, we are planning a board games night tomorrow night. Lucy's going to be coming over. We're going to play some of these board games that we were sent, so that should be fun. What are my favourite biscuits? Garibaldi. 2 minutes left, because I need to get set up for Twitch. Can I get Andy on? No, because Andy's in bed. He went to bed at like 7:30 tonight. He's not feeling very well. Supposed to be in the shower at the moment, but I'm watching this. You need like a waterproof phone so you can watch in the camera. That would be fun. Where's my coffee? I haven't got a coffee. I brought a can of Coke out with me, but I've not actually opened it yet. It's just still sat here. So I've not had a drink at all. I'm disabled and paralysed from the waist down, but I wouldn't ever want to be normal. Fair enough. Kev, please do Spider-Man. It depends how many people wanted Football Manager. We'll have a look. I did Spider-Man the last 2 streams. What university did I go to? I went to Anglia Ruskin University. So, you know, like a real highlight. I like to say I went to a university in Cambridgeshire because it makes me sound like, you know, proper clever, innit? Did he say he went to Cambridge? It sounded like he said he went to Cambridge. I'll just let people... Yeah, I went to Cambridge. Sure. What's my Twitch? Lelujo FM. LOLLUJO FM. Open the Coke. I kind of don't want to now. I want to see how long it stays there for. Do I know about YouTube Friends? I don't know about YouTube Friends. Tell me about YouTube Friends. Am I streaming on Twitch now? I'm not streaming on Twitch now. I'm going to be streaming on Twitch from about 9 o'clock. Playing some Football Manager. If Andy suddenly decided he was gay, would you accept that? I mean, yeah. Why wouldn't I? I don't know if people suddenly decide though. I don't think that's how it works. But if Andy came out, then we would obviously support him with it like we would anyone else. Ben, don't get payday loans. No, don't get payday loans. They're disastrous. Horrible interest. Sometimes you just have to kind of tighten your belt. If you've given a whole load of background to that, then I've not seen it. So perhaps that's really ignorant advice. But I would avoid payday loans like the plague. Can I type your name? Can you type it in the chat? Can someone type Lelujo FM in the chat for me? In fact, can I type in my own chat? I've never actually tried to do this. Let's try. Lelujo FM. There we go. I don't know if that's actually typed, but that's my Twitch. What team do I support? The mighty Peterborough United. I'm not diabetic. What's the like target on the Lelujo FM tweet? It was 50. So if we hit 52, we're bringing back Lelujo FC tonight, which will be fun. Fallout 76 thoughts. I'm intrigued. I enjoy Fallout. I don't enjoy multiplayer, so it depends how multiplayer based it is. I'm very interested to find out more about it. Okay, my name's Ellis. I'm currently in hospital suffering from anorexia. Any tips? I mean, I honestly, I couldn't offer you any advice based on any kind of experience or fact. I think anything I say would have the potential to come across as really quite ignorant because I don't know how that feels. I've never known anyone who's gone through that, or at least I'm not aware of anyone that I know going through it. And I'm a fat guy. I've got the opposite problem. So yeah, that's probably something you don't say. So I'm probably not the best person to ask. Planning the Dublin trip still. I mean, it's there at the back of my mind. It's not going to happen until next year though, so we're not doing much in the way of planning yet. Right, we are going to end this stream here because I need to get set up to go live on Twitch in the near future. So thank you to those of you who have joined for this very short notice, ad hoc, thrown together stream. We will be back tomorrow night here on YouNow, because we always do Thursday nights. Actually, saying that, we're doing a board game night. I might not be back tomorrow night. Keep an eye on my Twitter. I'll tell you there if I'm going to be live tomorrow night. I probably will be. It might just be a little bit later than normal. But we are going to leave things now. I am going to be over on Twitch from 9 o'clock, twitch.tv/LaLujoFM. Otherwise, obviously, you can see us in tomorrow's vlog or back here on YouNow as and when I stream again. Thank you very much, folks. And I will see you all again very, very soon. Here's the YouNow salute that I still don't know why I do.